make a motion.
on any of this. It is 6:30, so we will convene the meeting, and this is the Tuesday, June 5th meeting of the Planning Commission. And we do have all members here, so we do have a quorum. Before we turn to the agenda, I would like to mention publicly that I received a phone call yesterday. I got a message from Randy Pye, the former mayor of Centennial. He was calling me as chair of the Planning Commission, and he wanted to talk with me and meet with me about a plan that's going to be submitted to the county on Thursday. He just wanted to run it by me, and I immediately called our attorney because my instinct was, this is really making me uncomfortable. He represents a developer group, and Bob agreed that I will call him back and say, I'm not interested, I cannot talk to you, thank you very much. So, but I just thought it was a little out of order for me, anyway. Okay, we have two sets of minutes to consider. The first approval to consider are the minutes from March 20th of this year. Any comments about the minutes as written? We have a motion to approve the minutes. Catherine?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the Tuesday, March 20th, 2018 minutes as submitted.
Do we have a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been seconded by Mrs. Woolman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, the motion carries. The second minutes to consider are from April 3rd of this year. My only comment was, I'm not sure that Richard Rader was in attendance at that point because Randall was already on the board. So it must have been somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
It's March 20th.
I couldn't figure out who it was. Anybody would be fine.
We'll check on that.
Maybe Mr. Brummel was here. But it was not Richard.
Yeah.
So, anyway, can we have a motion to approve the minutes from April 3rd? Anybody? Catherine, thank you. Mrs. Glassett?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the April 3rd, 2018 minutes as amended by Chair Rich.
Okay, a second, please. Mr. Saul has seconded this. All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the minutes have been approved, and the item on the agenda tonight is case number LDC 18-002, Land Code Development for the Sign Code Revisions, and Kat Hammer will present from the county.
Good evening, Chair Rich and Commissioners. The application before you tonight is for a land development code application or amendment for the use to the sign regulations, case number LDC 18-002. Notice for this application is given in the form of notice in the Villager newspaper, posted in the Main edition, and the I-7 reached out newspaper, posted in the newspaper during the May 16th edition. The Planning Commission has jurisdiction to make recommendation on this case to the BOCC. The case before you tonight, like I said, is an amendment, a proposed amendment to the Land Development Code, specifically sign regulations, Chapter 12. Staff is proposing new verbiage in order to comply with the Supreme Court's decision in the Reed versus Town versus Gilbert case. A study session was held at the Planning Commission on May 1st. Some of the discussion items at that point
were the planning commissioners wanted to clarify that significant changes to dimensional standards were not being planned as part of this amendment, and staff agreed and said that will happen at a later time, hopefully this year. Based on review of the application policies and goals in the comprehensive plan, review of the development regulations, and analysis of referral comments, our findings include the sign regulations in the currently adopted land development code include content-based restrictions. The recent Supreme Court decision does not permit content-based restrictions for signage, and adopting a content-neutral sign code would align Arapahoe County with regulations with case law and reduce litigation risk. Considering the findings and other information provided within the staff report, staff is recommending approval of case number LDC 18-002, Arapahoe County Land Development Code Sign Code Amendment, subject to the following conditions of approval. Staff will make correction and revisions to the proposed language as directed by the county attorney prior to incorporating the approved amendment into the Land Development Code for publication. I stand for any questions.
I have a question. It's written here that there are to be no significant changes to dimensional standards. What are the changes then?
The changes that we proposed in the amendment before you tonight do not specifically try to change the dimensional standards of any sign within a district, but more so tries to classify signs not based on content. So there may be some areas, I can't speak fully, but any kind of dimensional change was not in regards to anything beyond content based.
Okay, well I guess I read the sentence differently. Okay. That's what. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments?
Just to clarify, so the scope of this is purely to comply with the Supreme Court decision. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm curious about this memo from Truck County. Arapahoe County Government wanted cigarettes killed. Is that part of this?
Actually, what they recommended in their letter was more specifically related to regulating signs on the content of tobacco. So that comment was received but was not addressed in our update here.
Well, I don't know.
Any other questions? I don't know if we have any members of the public here who want to speak to this. We'll open and close the public hearing simultaneously then. And this is only to recommend that it goes to the Board of County Commissioners, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is anybody interested in making a motion or have any other comments?
I'll make the motion, Madam Chair.
Very good.
I move that in the case of LDC 18-002, Arapahoe County Land Development Code Sign Code Amendment, I have reviewed the staff report, including all exhibits and attachments, and have listened to the applicant's presentation, and any public comment is presented at the hearing, and hereby move to recommend approval of this application based on the findings in the staff report, subject to condition number 1.
Do we have a second for the motion?
I'll second.
Mr. Brummel makes the second. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And I guess that's the end of the agenda. Our next meeting is at the county building. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. You're a trainee tomorrow? No, that's next week.
No, that's Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday.
As long as you have to I think this is a rendition of, I'm pretty sure this is a rendition. Or anything, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, if I'm in a neighborhood meeting, like,